2005, so I was 55, and I was at that stage used to having routine mammograms every 2 years, and just got home from work one day like everybody, busy and lots of letters on the bench and things, and saw a reminder that my breast screening was due and nearly didn't go. Recently lost my father and been, quite a stressful time. Christmas coming up, and something just said, no, book it, go sort of this week and then it's done. And that's what I did, and had the mammogram, nothing was said, went back to school, to work. Not very long, maybe 2 or 3 days later, my business manager came in. She said, breast screening are on the phone and they want to speak to you. And I thought, what do they want? I've just been there, Went in, had the phone call that you never want to get, saying, Anne, we want you to come back. We've got some concerns with your mammogram. And I must have gone deaf. They said, are you still there, Mrs. Campbell? I said, yes, in this weak little voice, and went back, and they said, bring your husband or a special person or a partner or whatever with you. And I'm thinking, this didn't sound too good, but anyway. And they said, we've made your appointment, it's tomorrow at such and such a time, so obviously non-negotiable. And I went, and then they were fantastic. They explained that we need to now do an ultrasound, and then we may or may not need to do a biopsy, and then we may or may not need to call someone in to read that. And anyway, obviously I went step right through, and they said, now we'll be able to give you the diagnosis probably tomorrow, but try not to worry. And so went home, didn't sleep a wink, and went to school. And I just kind of had that feeling that I wouldn't be back at school for a while, so I sort of did quite a lot that morning and told a couple of key people at my work that what was happening to me. Went back with my husband, and probably only 10 minutes, and they say, yes, it's malignant. Well, I just said, what do I do now? And they said, you need to go to your GP. And they made the appointment for me. They were fantastic. They rang straight away, and of course he said, come straight away, which I did. And then, you need to go and see a surgeon, and which I did, and saw him really quickly. And I was very fortunate that I was able to have the lumpectomy. It was what they said I needed to do. And probably another 3 or 4 days later, the surgeon rang me and said, I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to come back because we've picked up some cancer in your lymph nodes, and you'll need to come back for the axillary clearance, I think they call it now. So back I went again, and that was a much more involved operation, and involved having a drainage tube. And then they said, we now recommend you'll need to have chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and it's a whole much more detailed process. And touch wood, all good ever since. My advice would be to any woman to have regular mammograms. It's a free service. I won't say it's not painful. I wouldn't call it pain though, and particularly if you've had 3 children. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's short-term pain for very, very long-term gain. So my advice would be, do not hesitate to have a mammogram. It can save your life, and it's a very short inconvenience. It's free, it's not that hard. Why wouldn't you do it?